Hello and welcome to another Made with Love tutorial. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet your very own granny square. A granny square is quite famous, let's say, in the crochet world. You've got plain ones that look like this, and you've got colourful ones where you're changing colour at the end of each round. But honestly, a granny square can be done in so many different ways, using clusters of double crochets, treble crochets, half treble crochets. They can have a lot of personality, but I'm going to show you what we use in our crochet blanket. So I'm going to get the yarn colour of choice, and when we get onto round 3 of a granny square, I'll show you how to change colour also. So first of all, we're going to make our slip knot like we would usually, where you create, and people can do that in any way you want. And if you don't know how to make one yet, I've got a tutorial for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our slip knot, and then we are going to chain 4. So if you don't know how to chain stitch, there's also a tutorial for that. 2, 3, and 4. And now we are going to slip stitch to join. So to slip stitch to join, all you have to do is take your crochet hook back into the first chain that we created, and then we're going to stick that in there. And then you're going to yarn over, and instead of going through 2 loops and having to do a crochet, you just continue to pull that through all the way like so. And this has kind of created a little ring for us to work from. So first of all, we're going to add our height for the round, which is going to be a chain 2. Ooh, that was a chain 1. And now we're going to chain 2, like so. Now we are going to half treble crochet, or half double crochet if you're American, into the center of this ring. So right here. So to do that, we are going to yarn over and then put the crochet hook into the middle of that circle we just made, yarn over, pull it through, then yarn over, and then pull through all 3 loops. And if you don't know how to do a half treble crochet or half double crochet if you're American, I do have a separate tutorial on how to do that. So the first chain 2 that we did is going to count as one of our half treble crochets. So from there, we are going to create a corner by chaining 2. So chain 2 like so. Then we are going to half treble crochet twice into the center. So like that. That's 1. Oh, hold on, let me do that again. Came off the hook. So now that we've chained 2 for the corner, we are going to do 2 more half treble crochets into the center, like so. 1, yarn over into the middle, yarn over, pull through. You've got 3 loops on your hook, and then you're going to pull through all 3. That's going to be a corner right there. Then, to create the next corner, we're going to do chain 2, and then we're going to do another granny stitch cluster. In this particular granny square that I'm doing clusters of 2 half treble crochets. So we are going to yarn over into the center of the ring, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to do another one, yarn over into the center, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now we're going to do another corner. So we're going to do 2 chains, then we're going to do 2 more half trebles, like so. 1, 2. Now if you start to lose count of how many you've done, you can start to see this square forming. So we started here with the chain 2. Then we did a half treble crochet here. We chained 2. We did 2 half double. Then we did If you start to get lost on this square, you can start to see it starting to form. You've got chain 2 here, which counts as our first half treble. Then we did a half treble here. We chained 2, did 2 half treble crochets, chained 2. Then we did 2 more half treble. Then we did 2 more half treble crochets here. Then we chained 2, and then we've done 2 more half treble crochets. So as you can see, we've got corner 1, corner 2, corner 3, and all that's left is to do corner 4. And to do that, all we have to do is chain 2, and then we are going to slip stitch into this space here, like so, and So that has created our first round of our granny square. Now we don't just stop here because we're going to make the granny square bigger, and it can be as infinitely big as you'd like, but we then basically want to get back to this corner. So to do that, the best way is to slip stitch across. So we're going to slip stitch in the top of this stitch, like so, just putting it through the top of the stitch, yarning over, and pulling it through both loops. So you're not adding any height, you're just moving across your work. So we're going to do another one to get into this corner space here. So through the corner space, yarn over and pull through both like this. So now we're back in the corner. And now that we're back in the corner, we're going to add some height again for the next round by doing chaining 2. And again, this is going to count as our first half treble crochet. So then we're going to do our second by yarning over, pulling through. So we've got 3 loops on the hook, and then we're going to pull through all 3, and then we're going to chain 2, because this is going to be another corner. So in every corner space, you're always going to do 2 half trebles, chain 2, and then 2 half trebles. So we're going to go in like that, do 2 more half trebles all the way through, and then another one, like so. Now, to get over into the next gap that we have, we are going to chain 2, like so, and then do 2 half trebles in the corner space, 1 and 2. And then to create the other corner, we're going to chain 2 and then yarn over to do our other cluster of 2 half treble crochets. Move this out of the way. So we've got one more to do. And here you can start to see your granny square forming. So you can see the first round over here where you've got your 4 corners. And you can see here we started to make it bigger. So we've got the bottom of the granny square here, and then we've just done the second corner. So to move into the third corner, we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to half treble crochet twice before the next corner. Now we need to create the corner by doing a chain 2 and then doing another 2 half treble crochets into the same corner chain space. 1, 2. Now we've got to go across into our final corner, and to do that we have to chain 2 and then do our cluster of 2 half treble crochets. 1, 2. Now we're going to chain 2 for the final corner, and then 2 more half trebles in this corner chain space. And then we are going to chain 2. And as you can see, we've created this square now, and what we have to do is join the last bit of the square into this bit here. So the same thing again, we're going to slip stitch into the space here that's been created where we chain 2 at the beginning. So in between those 2 stitches, we're going to just slip stitch to join. And again, we want to get back into the corner to add more height for the next round, which I'll show you how to color change as well. We're just going to go slip stitch into the top of that stitch and then pull through all the way, and then we're going to slip stitch into the corner space and pull all the way through. Sorry. Then we're going to slip stitch into the corner space, so we're going to put our crochet hook into the corner space, yarn over, and then pull through all the way. So we haven't added any height, we've just got ourselves back into the corner because we always want to start each round in the corner. So as you can see, that's taken shape into a square there. But, you know, if you want to add a little bit of colour into your granny square, because, you know, it's much more fun when you have a granny square with lots of different colours. Now that we're in the corner, to change colour, you cut the yarn of the previous round, and to add the new colour, instead of yarning over and chaining 2 with the colour you were using, you pick up your new yarn colour, like so, lay it over your crochet hook, and pull it through that loop, and begin adding height into your next round. So here's where you've got to be careful. Don't start crocheting with the tail of your yarn. So move your tails out of the way. Always make sure you're using the working yarn. And what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2 to add height to this next round. And don't worry, if you can see here the pink looks like it's become all loose. Just pull down tight on that and it will come in nicely into your work and you won't have to worry about that. So once we've done that, what we're going to do is this obviously counts as our first half treble like previously. Now we're going to yarn over and we are going to half treble back into that chain space, like so. And then we are going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then half treble again, twice back into that chain space. So we have 1 and 2. So we've created our first corner in the new color. Now, one thing I will say is if you are wanting to avoid weaving in ends at the end, I've done on my previous changing color tutorial, I did this as well, just to show you. We're going to carry on in the granny square technique. So we're going to chain 2, but the difference is, because this is going to be a flat, we're only going to put one of the clusters in. So on the flat parts, it's just one cluster, and on each corner, it's 2 half treble crochets, chain 2, 2 half treble crochets. Whereas in these spaces, it's just 2 half treble crochets, we don't repeat it. So we've chained 2, we're going to go in with our half treble crochet, but make sure that your tails are just laying over your crochet hook so you're weaving them in as you go. It's just a little tip. It could be a little bit fiddly and you can always weave them in at the end if it gets too complicated for you. But we're going to just do half treble crochet, like so. And then we're going to do one more into that space, yarn over, half treble crochet, pull through all the loops, and then we're going to chain 2, and then we're back into the corner spaces again. And when we're in the corner spaces, we do 2 half treble crochets. There's 1, all the way through. And here's number 2. I'm all the time keeping these tails just laid on top of the crochet hook as it goes through. As you can see now in the new color, it's starting to take shape. We've got our first corner here, then we have our flat edge, and then we have our second corner. So to move through to the next corner, what we're going to do is chain 2, and it's basically repeating this. Chain 2, and then we're going to do 2 half treble crochets in the flat spots, like so. And then we're going to chain 2, and now we're in a corner spot here. So when you're in a corner spot, we do 2 half treble crochets, and then we are going to chain 2, and then we are going to do 2 more half treble crochets into the same corner chain space, like so. Add some more yarn in. And then we're going to continue that all the way around. So chain 2, 2 half trebles into the sides of it, chain 2, and then we're going to do 2 half trebles into the corner chain space, and then we are going to chain 2, and then do 2 more half treble crochets into the same chain space. And then to get round to the very start of the round again, we are going to chain 2. We're going to do 2 half treble crochets into the flat section around the top, and then we're going to chain 2, and then as you can see we are back at the beginning of the round, and we're going to do like we did before. We're going to slip stitch into where the chain space was created, and then we're going to do a slip stitch into the top of the half treble crochet, and then we are going to slip stitch into the corner space, and then you're ready to start your next round of your granny square. And it will continue to grow out and out and out and out and out and get bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes. And it will eventually look a little something like this. As you can see on this one, the first round was done in blue, and the next one orange, and the next one pink. Whereas this one, I've done the first 2 rounds in pink and then changed to the olive twist. And that's how you make a granny square. Thank you for watching that Made with Love tutorial. If you need any more help with your makes, head over to bytomdaily.com where there are plenty more tutorials. But for now, keep making with love.